My RADA audition experience is all done. It was at Simple Studios in New York City, one block from my hotel. It was scheduled to start at 1:15. I arrived at 1:05. They were on their lunch break, and they saw me at 1:20. And the audition lasted a good 20 minutes, I would say. They did ask to see my third monologue, which I think is always a good sign. They don't ask for that if they can see that you suck right away, do they? So outside the building, there was someone named Bobby running the auditions, and Bobby had taken the 8-week Shakespeare intensive last summer, so they were very helpful in answering my questions about that, because I realized last night that the auditions for that 8-week course are today. They're auditioning people at the same time for that. So I decided when I walked in this afternoon, I was going to ask, please, can you see me for that at the same time? And they said they'd be happy to. It was Edward Kemp, the director of RADA, the main boss man, and Nona Shepherd, who is the chair of the audition committee, and she runs the 8-week summer course. So it was perfect. I walked in, she commented, "Oh, your hair is very long." I said, "Yes, haha." I'm Mariana, handed them my paper. They had a piece of paper printed out that had the first page of my form that we had emailed them with our little tiny headshot in the top corner and a few details about ourselves. And on the back, they wanted us to fill in the details for the 3 monologues we were going to do. The title of the play, the character, and the author. So, you know, you have to kind of decide right then. There's no room for spontaneity. If you have, 3 or 4 different Shakespeare monologues, you're not going to get to decide in the room. You need to decide before you go in. They sat me down, asked me a few questions to begin with. I'd like to say that I'm very happy with what I did, with what I said. I wouldn't change a single thing. So whatever happens now, I have no regrets at all, and I will be able to go to any drama school, any other drama school, with a clear mind, knowing that I did my best. It's a huge relief. It's a huge weight off my shoulders. Let's see. I will try to remember all the questions they asked. They might not be in the right order. They said, looking at your resume, you've been working as an actor successfully, so why drama school? Why now? And I told them, that I basically had acquired imposter syndrome over the last year or 2. I feel like I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not properly trained, and I want to be able to look people like them, actors that I admire, in the eye and know that I have the same training that they have. Then they asked, so what's the last thing that you've done? What have you been in lately? What have you been up to? I told them the last play that I had been in was Lobby Hero in October, and then after that I wasn't auditioning for full-length productions because I didn't know when my recalls would be, and I needed to stay available for those. I said I'd been doing gigs, been doing auditions, etc., commercials, and they don't use the word gigs in England apparently, so I had to explain that. Nona asked me if I'd ever had any normal jobs other than acting. So I was glad I was able to say yes. I'd been a teacher part-time for quite a while, and I had stopped doing that so that I would have more time to perform. I was able to say I've also worked for my parents' business part-time. Nona asked if I ever went to see plays, if I went to see theater often. This is one question where I wanted to be honest and answer truthfully, and I don't go to see them as often as I wish I did because I'm often performing in something myself on the weekends. But I have a group of close friends, and I always go see their shows, and they always come see mine. It's something I'd like to be able to do more of. It's not easy in Houston. We don't have as much of it. We have a lot, but somehow it doesn't work out with my gigs on the weekends most of the time. And there are other reasons why I'm not able to go see performances as often, but I didn't want to bring that up because those are personal things, and I didn't want it clouding their judgment of me. They had me do my monologues. They asked me to step back. I did Portia from Merchant of Venice, and then I did Dawn from Lobby Hero, and then they asked me to go ahead and do my third Queen Margaret from Henry VI, Part 3. And on that last one, you know, she's referencing characters other than the one that she's talking to. She's surrounded by her soldiers, Clifford, Northumberland, other servants. So I used them as those people very briefly. I referred to them, you know, with the first line, brave warriors, Clifford and Northumberland, with a couple of them, hold you his hands whilst I do set it on. Marry sir, now looks he like a king. Things like that. You know, I'd glance over and make very brief eye contact with them and include them. And I think they liked that. At least he did. I know that out of the corner of my eye, I saw her, Nona, jump a couple of times, or sit back, or look surprised, or something. I'm not really sure. It's just out of the corner of my eye, and I wasn't focused on it when I would raise my voice during that last monologue, because there's one or two lines where it's appropriate. It's not. I'm not yelling at them. I'm not just an angry person yelling a monologue. She's yelling at this asshole that's trying to usurp the crown from her husband. He's plotting. He's, you know, created this uprising to take over the monarchy. So I think it was appropriate, and I think it's good when you can elicit a real physical reaction from your audience. She jumped. She sat back. I don't know. I think it was good. I did put my hair back in a ponytail for Dawn, just to try to, you know, show some physical difference, just get it out of the way a little bit. And then they asked me why those monologues. It was really Nona doing most of the questions, I have to say. She asked me why those monologues. She asked me, what actors I admire. I replied, Tobias Menzies, Emily Blunt, and Julie Andrews. I was myself completely. You know, sometimes I want to go into these auditions, especially British auditions, and try to hold back on my bubbliness, on my jokiness, you know, and I didn't do that with this. Maybe I should have. Maybe I rambled too much. Maybe I was too jokey. Maybe I should have been. I don't know. The only question that I wish I hadn't been so ambivalent about was when she asked, do you go to see a lot of plays? But that's all right. I think that I did my best with answering the questions honestly. I did ask them at the end, you know, and I said, I know this is not quite a kosher question, but can you please tell me, in your opinion, whether East 15 or Drama Studio London is better? And Nona was like, no, I don't know, or I can't, or something. But Ed smiled and said, well, I know I can tell you Drama Studio London has some exciting changes coming up. They've just been joined by some rather good people. And I was able to say, yes, I know. Sebastian Harcombe just came over from RADA. I'm excited about that. I did tell them, you know, which schools I had been accepted to, that I had been rejected from several, and that I had, you know, interviews pending with several others. Nona commented, you're very keen to come to England, aren't you? And I said, yes, I am. I'm getting there one way or another. Ed did ask which teachers I had studied with for the 1-week Chekhov and Ibsen course that I did at RADA last August. So I was able to mention all 4 of those instructors, and I was also able to mention my lovely instructor that I'm coaching with via Skype. So I was really glad to be able to mention all 5 of those teachers, because I know that he knows them, you know, he sees them every day, every week at least, and if he asked any of them, I know that they would be able to recommend me wholeheartedly. I know it's a 1 in 1,000 chance that I would be accepted to either the 3-year course or the 1-year course or even the 8-week summer course, because they each only have, well, I think the 3-year course has 28 places, and the 1-year probably has the same, and the summer course probably has 16 or something. But I know it was a good audition and a good interview. I think Ed liked me very much. I don't know about Nona. She was more withdrawn, more held back, you know, more, a bit harder to read. But I guess because I am a straight female, I know that men like me, generally. and sometimes women don't, or maybe it's just easier for me to read men because, well, I have a lifetime of having done that just because they've been the ones that I've always been attracted to. And also they're generally the ones who are in positions of power, so you get used to reading what the male director on the other side of the table thinks, don't you? And I think that we women are better at concealing our feelings. I think that's it. I did this in reverse. Normally I journal it out and then I do my video, but I wanted to do my video first this time. And now I need to go and make a video about Central, which was a couple weeks ago. Central? Yeah, Central a couple weeks ago. I never made a video about them. That was my RADA audition experience. It was lovely, and I'm grateful.